Hi, it's Miss Stone Home, and today I'm going to be sharing my recipe for pumpkin cake, or sometimes people call it pumpkin bars. It's basically a pumpkin cake with cream cheese icing. So first I'm just going to combine all the dry ingredients. So right here I just have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and then I'm going to be adding 1 cup of sugar and 1/3 cup of sugar. Next is my baking powder, and that's just 2 teaspoons. Baking soda is the next ingredient, and it's just 1 teaspoon. Salt goes in next, and that's just 1 teaspoon. And cinnamon is the last ingredient. It's 2 teaspoons. I already have 1 in there, and here's the second one. So I'm just going to really stir to make sure that that's combined well, and then next I'll be adding the wet ingredients. Alright, so now we're going to be adding our wet ingredients. So first, 4 eggs. I always like to crack them in a separate dish. Not even really because of shells, but more just to make sure that the eggs are okay. Because then you don't ruin everything else that you've mixed together if there's a bad egg. Not that I've ever had a bad egg. Then the next thing is going to be a cup of oil. And I use canola oil, but I cannot add a whole cup of oil to a dish. I mean, it's already got enough sugar in there. So what I do is I take applesauce to make up for maybe half of it. So I just happen to have one of my daughter's little apple cinnamon fruit pouches, and cinnamon is an ingredient in here. So it'll just add to it. So what I did is there's my cup, and I squeezed the pouch out, and I'm just going to add the oil to make it a cup. And I mean, just think about all the calories that you're cutting. It makes no difference in the flavor. It's still just as moist. And last but not least is the star of the show. It is a 15-ounce can of plain pumpkin. So I might need 2 hands to get that in there. I'm about to just use my hand mixer to mix this, just for a minute or 2 until it's all combined. But I am preheating the oven. It's going to be at 350. Greased my pan, and I actually have these 2 ingredients sitting out to get room temperature to make my icing really easy to mix. So I'm going to mix this up. I'm not going to show you me blending it. It's too loud. Here's the mixed up batter, and it smells so good. I am a fall type girl, so I could make this whenever, but we got invited to dinner and I said I'd bring the dessert, so I thought that I would make this cake because I've had a can of pumpkin in there for a while, so I thought I would use it up. So I'm just going to scrape this down and stick it in the oven. Quick, there's the cake in the oven, and it's going to be 350 for 30 minutes. While the cake is baking, I'm going to make the icing. So I have 1 package of the room temperature softened cream cheese and half a cup, which is a stick of butter. I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla and 2 cups of powdered sugar. Thought that was funny. I added the vanilla, and I added 1 cup of the powdered sugar because I'm going to also beat this with my mixer, and I don't want to have this big mess. So I'm going to let that get incorporated and then add the other cup of sugar. Here's the consistency after mixing 1 cup, and I'm going to put the 2nd cup in. So far this has taken me about 15 seconds. Here's the finished icing. I mean, altogether that literally took a minute. It tastes delicious. So I'm just going to let this sit out here on the counter. Got a couple minutes for the cake. I'm going to wait till the cake is pretty cool to ice it. I don't want to put this back in the fridge because then it'll get hard, and then I'll have to pull it back out to get it softened again. Here's the cake out of the oven. It smells so good. So the recipe, it's 30 minutes for a 10 by 13 pan, but I have a 9 by 13 pan, so it means the cake's gonna be a little bit thicker. So it might take a little bit more than 30 minutes, might take 35, anywhere between 35 and 40. So just check it, put something in the middle. When it comes out clean, it's finished. Here is the finished pumpkin cake, or some people cut it up and call it pumpkin bars. I just cut mine in half. so you could see the inside. It's really moist. And then I just plopped my cream cheese icing on top. And I cannot wait to dig into it. So I hope at some point you make this recipe because it's really good. Thanks for watching. Bye.